Hi, welcome to this Superspace Theory short. As always, I apologize for any background noise. I am recording this outside. In this video, I wanted to talk about my principle or shorthand. It's not actually an equation, mathematical equation, S equals dx. And this is just my shorthand for the core principle of superspace theory, that size equals distance at fundamentally smaller levels of physics. So size equals distance is the core concept, and it applies to the subatomic level of physics. When we enter the subatomic realms of quantum physics, at some point things are not getting smaller, but are moving further away in the direction of a fourth spatial dimension outside of our 3D space. That is the core concept. And although I don't understand all the details of how this will apply to our current model of the standard model of physics or our current model of quantum physics, I do know that this basic truth, that when we move into the direction of the fundamentally smaller levels of quantum physics, we are moving in a fourth spatial direction of a fourth dimension. That truth will alter how we view quantum physics, quantum particles, fundamental particles, and the search for the smallest particle, and so on. So, in a simple graph, we can see here we have the cross of three dimensions that we look at when we think of 3D space. So you have these three fundamentally different degrees of freedom in our 3D space: X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3 dimensions. And superspace theory is showing that the fourth spatial dimension is the inward direction as we move into the realm of the very small. And the graph I always use in my book and in videos is this, where it shows that looking at space as a 2D sheet, we see things as getting smaller and smaller and smaller as we go inward. But when we understand the fourth dimension as lying in the direction of what we think of as the very small, then in this two-dimensional analogy, you can see that there's these linear degrees of freedom, but that we also curve inward into the realm of the very small. And at that point, we are no longer getting smaller. We are moving in a fundamentally different direction through these deeper dimensional fields where subatomic phenomena are located. That's the essential truth. And this is what physics will have to incorporate into our understanding of reality, of physics, of the universe, of space and time, etc., if we are to actually understand what we are observing in the quantum realms, as well as coming to an understanding of a theory of everything that incorporates gravity and quantum physics. So this shorthand that I created, again, it's not an actual mathematical equation, S equals dx, is my simple symbolic way of stating that core principle, that size equals distance at fundamentally, quote unquote, smaller levels of physics. In other words, at the realms of subatomic physics within the uh, an atom's nucleus. When we move into those fundamentally smaller realms, we are no longer getting smaller, and this is what the X stands for. We are no longer getting smaller, but moving in a fundamentally different fourth spatial direction of the fourth dimension. And that simple understanding, when we see this, it will alter how we view fundamental physics completely. Thank you for watching.